Hey guys, JKK here. So today I will show the replays from Nahla. I don't think I ever do a commentary for Nahla, and it's time to do it. And this is the game I played for Polish tournament. Team League, and here I am playing against Pawel, and this is the format when we have the possibility to play with sideboard. So in this deck I am playing with disintegration instead of some of the magic steals, because Paweł was playing Cassandra and Namtaru, and those heroes don't have that much magic creatures, but much creatures with high HP. That's why I made that small difference. And I will show both my match against Paweł, against Cassandra and against Namtaru. And I must say both these games was really tough for me, and I must defend for very long because I didn't get a really good hand, as sometimes Nahla can get super good hand and it is easy to just win any matchup. And I think the cut is actually not that easy for Nahla. Cut can actually make a lot of problems for Nahla. So here I chose to play with the building now, instead of like playing with one other 2-drop and blocking this damage, because I am trying to just get a tempo advantage next turn using this building. And I moved this gargoyle to the bottom row so this gargoyle could survive longer. But Paweł also didn't get a super good hand here. If he would get barracks early, it would be harder for me with that hand, because I have the access to Arcade's Wrath, but that's not what I really need against Heaven. And I got a lot of cheap blockers, and makeshift golems are good usually, but what I really need here was some magic channelers, and not now, but later I will need magic channelers, and I never got my magic channelers in this matchup, and basically my cloud shapers wasn't able to be played until very late, and then even then they didn't come for cheap, but for free resource, if I recall. So that's why I think this wasn't the optimal hand by me, because usually it's easy to get those Nur or Jin to just play those cloud shapers, but in this matchup this wasn't possible for me. So Paweł is developing the board, and now he has 3 creatures that I cannot kill with Arcade's Wrath. That's why I won't play this Arcade's Wrath. And as you see now, I have all these town jumps and cloud shapers, and I am far away from playing it, so now I must play another building. Not like I need it now, but it's only thing I can do right now. And I just need to plan how to block with my blockers most efficiently, because this gargoyle is good here because it will survive even though it has only 2 HP, but this only 1 damage to it. And like here I could play with Rakshasa, because then this cannot kill the Rakshasa and this cannot attack hero then. And now I need to figure when to play the last gargoyle and the last and my third tower. And I will move this creature there, because I don't want to block with gargoyle there, because they would kill gargoyle, and it's better for me to lose this because it replaces itself. It's really not optimal hand for him as well. Now he will use Altar of Asha thanks to Time of Need, but it's so overcosted for 7 resource. But he has no other play anyway. Alternatively, he could just pass the turn, because this Altar of Asha don't accomplish that much, and this Altar of Asha maybe was more useful later to resurrect Warding Inquisitor or something, I don't know. So as you see now, I have my stats not far away from those cards, and that's why I won't call this hand that good for me, because usually you don't have that much time jumps on your hand. And now I was thinking, because I need those genes to win, but I cannot play them for so long that I will choose to discard it and to get something that I can actually play. So I discard also the time jump, and I only have now 2 on hand. And now I can play all my blockers. Question if I want to play all 3 of them, because playing just 2 would be enough. And now I just played to save myself damage on hero, not even care about life of these creatures. Just bouncing back the Thief Collector to get one extra human, and now drawing a card, maybe too risky. First he was planning to up the magic because then he would draw the card first, but he figured that he needs something to play on this turn. But he don't play this. He is afraid of the Arkadzraf, but I don't even plan to play Arkadzraf because it doesn't kill what I need to kill. If he would play this, maybe I would consider to play Arkadzraf, but now I don't even consider to play this. And maybe that is important lesson for some of you, because I figured that most players would play Arkadzraf in these positions, but I think it's better to just use the creatures to block as efficiently as you can for as long as you can, especially versus Heaven and versus Stronghold. Inferno is playing a lot of creatures below 5 HP, so Arkadzraf is really good, but in this situation it's not correct to play Arkadzraf. And with this Cloud Shapers finally I can stabilize the board somehow, at least for these 2 turns, till I will get to my 6 magic. If I would get any sort of magic channeler now, I could play this magic channeler and these genes for free, so it would be very good for me, but like I said, I didn't draw my magic channeler now, and also later I won't have this on my hand to play. And finally, first Warding Inquisitor, actually quite a board to play the Warding Inquisitor. Just the problem is that I don't plan to play the Arkadzraf now also, but it's good because I can't play Disintegration or Town Portal also, and maybe I would like to Town Portal it or something. And now I don't draw a creature. If I would have a creature, I could up the Magic Knight now, and I draw because I need the creature to use the event, but since I draw the Ariana, now I don't want to use the event, because with Ariana I can actually banish that guy, which is good for me, because this guy don't even die to 2 Arkadzraf, and I know that this board won't hold off that much longer. So I need to have my backup plan ready. Now I just look how I can rearrange these creatures to play Ariana and this, and for this I need to have at least one front row and back row. Or just back row, because on the front row there is unknown magic units for him. That is magic, and also this watchman is magic, but on the melee line all creatures are might from Cassandra deck, so I just need to have this line free. That's why I move, despite it will die. And now another warding creature comes to the board, and I cannot play any spells, so I cannot town portal something or Arcade's Wrath. And maybe in this turn I could actually play Arcade's Wrath, but I can't. And I am away from time jump because I drew the card last turn. Now I cannot draw a card again, I need to go to magic. So my only play this turn is to town portal my Ariana, actually. If I would town portal Watchman, he would return to his hand. And now I was thinking first to play Ariana to just banish that guy and then attack for 4 damage, but then I reconsidered that if I would do that, and I knew that he has Zephyria on hand because I saw it when I played Magic Steel earlier, and if somehow he would get that event then and play creature here and here, then this guy could have 6 attack, and with Zephyria he could just remove that row and attack for 2 plus 6, that's 8 damage, and maybe also some blinding light later and I would be dead. So that's why I removed this stack instead, just to be super safe. And now he can play Zephyria to bounce back his own Watchman and kill my Cloud Shaper. But he is just playing for control now, and he won't be able to use this Zephyria again to push damage for my hero. So he recognized the opportunity here to play it, but in the later stages of the game he will be missing some push for damage, as the blinding light will be his only option to just break through my defenses and deal some damage to me. And now I could play double Arcad's Wrath, but it doesn't look that appealing to me, because again, if I would play double Arcad's Wrath now, I wouldn't be even able to play any creature then, and I would be stuck with Memory Lapse, 2 time jumps, and Rakshasa Skirmisher on hand, and he would play whatever 3 humans or barracks, and he would have full board again, full of creatures. I wouldn't have Arcad's Wrath then, and I wouldn't be basically able to respond to that board anyway, because that time jump would be dead, as I wouldn't even have creatures to combo it over with. So as bad as it looks, it's actually better to use these time jumps now, as when I actually can, and use that to draw some cards. Maybe hopefully I will get some event. Now I could play Rakshasa Skirmisher here to kill off that, but I don't do that because of possible draws, and I draw the Nur Spellweaver, and now I can play Nur plus another time jump. So that's again something I prefer to do over drawing a card even, because the Nur will draw a card anyway, and the time jump will draw a card. But the problem is that now I use these 2 time jumps for very little effect, and I will have only 1 time jump left in the deck. So the last time jump I would have to use to win. But like I said, I needed that to draw cards, because I wouldn't have the options if I just play Arcad's Wrath. And now I have more resources than he, because of those time jumps, and he will play some creatures maybe, or use some spells, and next time I will be able to draw cards and play 2 Arcad's Wrath, which will be better as well, because I have actually another Arcad's Wrath on hand already. So then after I will cast 2 Arcad's Wrath to kill the first board, I will have still another Arcad's Wrath to kill the board that he will play after that. I'm not quite sure about saving this blinding light for so long, or will he use it now? And what I can do now, 2 Arcad's Wrath. First Arcades I want to play like that, to draw a card from Nur, because instant spell draw me a card. Now I play the Town Portal on Nur to take it back on hand and play another Arcades Wrath, because I need my creatures. I have not so many cards, that's why I bounce back that Nur. So now I can play my another arcade giraffe as planned. Now I still draw more cards because I know I basically will have to draw my whole deck till I will be able to win, because I need all those creatures to combo with my last time jump. So another arcade giraffe, because that's basically saved me some trouble to use the time jump to clear. I can use the arcade giraffe now, and then I will use the time jump as effectively as I can. But not this turn still, because I need to set up large board for it to just win instantly with it. He is not really using much draw in that Cassandra. In my version I use golden horseshoes. I don't think he has any golden horseshoe in his deck, that's why he ran out of the steam so fast. With my version I would have more cards now, deeper into the deck. So now is the turn to use my time jump. Well, there is one golden horseshoe. So that's how it ends. And now the Mother Namtaru. I don't think Modern Namtaru is good against Nahla, but again in this matchup I had some troubles despite drawing all that cards now, which is obviously good, but then later in the game I will still have some problems with card draw. In this matchup also Arcad's Wrath is not so useful, and you need to focus on battling for the board control. That's why I use that to deploy more creatures early, and that is not something you would do against any other matchup. Against Inferno you don't want to develop that much blockers because you plan to play Arcad's Wrath, but here I know I won't be playing Arcad's Wrath, and that's why I can deploy more blockers. Against Inferno you just basically need to be responsive to play your creatures to block, and here I can be I don't need to be responsive. I can be first one to play some more creatures. That's the difference. Now I could now I can play 2 more creatures or use Town Portal, because I cannot use the disintegration, and this is too risky because Necro is not playing that much magic creatures except for Neophyte Lich and Banshee, but no, Banshee is not even played that often recently. So the option is to play either those 2 guys or Town Portal. And I choose to play Town Portal because playing more guys doesn't really accomplish much. And I don't move this guy here to block because of Geyser. And now I draw the tower that I could use for something that cost 3 resource, but with the magic steel that I want to with the disintegration that I want to play this stone, I cannot combo it off with the building. So that's why I must to pass on the building now. And that's also not the random order of playing. I want my tower on the guy that I want to be more safe, so it's not blocking, and I want to block with the guy that has Death Rattle, and he is searching for another copy of itself or the gargoyle, which makes it good blocker basically. So now I can play Nur plus disintegration to draw a card and develop the board, which is decent enough. But I moved this guy first to avoid of the ice meteors. But instead of Ice Meteors he will have the Banshee. And in this game I have too much of my Gaigals that are not so important against this slow deck of Namtaru, and too little of magic channelers to play my Jeans again for free. So now I am thinking just maybe to play this, but I don't think it's accomplished that much. So finally I choose to just use my memory lapses and play 3 gargoyles this turn. So now I could maybe Arcadzerov, but it's again not so good because I am just basically killing all my 4 blockers to kill 4 creatures of his, but this creature isn't even going to graveyard, and this creature is alive. So again, this Arcadzerov is not really good idea right now. I can use of my creatures already developed on the towers to make time jump and some of the creatures really cheap. And now I was thinking to maybe use this event after all, but I really don't want to discard the Cloud Shaper. So I'll just play 2 Cloud Shapers plus the Magic Steel this turn. Something you may have noticed already in my playstyle with the Nahla is that I am not greedy. And most of the beginners, or not even beginners, but most of the players that just play Nahla, they try to be greedy and to just save all those time jumps and Digi's Cloud Shapers on hand for the combo turn, and sometimes it's just better to play them for board control. Again, it just depends on the matchups. Some matchups you can be more greedy, and some matchups you need to be more concerned about board control and about tempo. And this matchup isn't that much about tempo, because Namtaru is even slower than Nahla, but in this particular match with this hand of mine, I just do what I have to do, because if I would just play arcades or pass the turn, he would simply be able to deal damage to me with his own time jumps or deal with my creatures that way. So I need to be aggressive in order to be defensive. And now this fourth tower is really useless, especially with those two memory lapses. I just can't play anything on this turn except that one makeshift golem. I was considering to maybe Arcades Wrath this turn, so I would just lose this gargoyle and this Djinn and kill off this Damran with my Djinn here after Arcades Wrathing, so he would be left on 3 HP, and that way I would kill 4 of his guys and only 2 of mine. But then this guy would be on 3 HP, so really easy to deal with anything like Geyser or Insect Swarm, and he would just be able to spam the board again, and I really just want to avoid that. So I played my creatures in zigzag like that, not even on the towers, just to maybe stall some more, be just safe from the Ace Meteors, and hopefully I will draw some draw cards on my next turn and maybe some events that will allow me to cycle. And now this is what I was looking for. Too bad I need to discard the Arcades Wrath, but I don't even think twice, I just needed to do that. So now I can use this Arcades Wrath anyway. And again play the creature with Death Rattle to block the possible quick attack creature from Boneyard if he would choose to play Time Jump this turn. And now I was just really missing the spell again in this turn. If I would have the spell to cycle more, and now I don't have even anything to respond to that, so I can only block in zigzag or to be safe from Ice Meteors, and that's all I can do. And he has still two more time jumps on hand. So this milling is not really necessary, it doesn't accomplish anything, but I just don't want to play more than 4 creatures, as I need the creatures for the combo anyway, and I don't want to be hit by Ice Meteor. So I basically knew that I am playing those creatures just to block and fight for the board, and I don't play them for combo. I kept some creatures on hand for that purpose as well. So I am not so sad to lose this Timebender Reading now, as I was aware of that possibility, that it is actually quite certain that I will lose it. So this turn is kinda interesting. Just use all my resource to play a combo this turn. So that would be it, and looks like Nahla is still strong. Quite long and tough matchups, but my hand wasn't very optimal, and I played some games when I got really good hand and it was super easy to win. So I think Nahla is definitely still very good deck, but you need to play it proper, because most people just don't play it good, and then this deck just can't be isn't forgivable for mistakes, and when you make mistakes with this deck, it's quite weak actually. Anyway, so thanks for watching and bye guys.